Alright y'all, so today is Wednesday, October 25th. And it is Wednesday. And it's very overcast in Southern California because apparently there was a hurricane that just hit Acapulco, Mexico. And it started off as a tropical storm and elevated to a Category 5 hurricane. I want to say in less than 2 hours, 4 hours, 5, whatever time it wasn't enough time for the people to prepare themselves for it. And it's really bad down there. Well, I only saw like 2 pictures. It was like a before and then an after of a building and the whole siding. Not the whole siding. It was like a bomb hit, like windows blown out, stuff, signs gone, you know. So we're getting some just drizzle, cloudiness. Thank God, that's all it is right now. But you know, there's that. The Arizona Diamondbacks and the Texas Rangers are going to the World Series. My Dodgers did make it. Now, okay, so look, right. Like I said, I do surface level sports. Like I know a little bit of everything as far as who did what. I can't tell you who the team players are. I can't tell you none of that, but I can give you some like, yeah, so this game, this team, blah blah blah, right? So that's how I'm giving you now, surface level shit. So somebody asks who's going to the World Series, he's like, oh, the Rangers and the Diamondbacks. And who did the Diamondbacks beat to get to the World Series? They beat the Phillies. I forget their names. They beat them, and then they beat the Dodgers, and I forget who they beat in the other round. But anyway, so when they ran through the Dodgers, I was talking to one of my co-workers, and I was like, oh my God, you think they're gonna fire the manager? This is name was Dave Robertson. And he's like, people that don't understand baseball, that's all they're saying. And I was like, well, enlighten me. And he said, well, basically, a lot of the Dodger players were injured, so that's why they didn't do so well. Because some of the stuff I was hearing, not some of the stuff, I got into a few sports channels like ESPN or a few satellite channels, and they were just discussing how the Diamondbacks had came off winning the other series and the Dodgers had been resting for like 2 weeks. So, you know, is it better to rest or is it better to play through? But see, the Dodgers had such a good record this season that they didn't have to play anybody to make the playoffs. It was already, you know, guaranteed a spot. So yeah, that kind of sucks. The 2023-24 NBA season kicked off the other night, which was yesterday. I was watching some of I think the Lakers were playing the Denver Nuggets. They did the whole ring ceremony for the Denver Nuggets, which was cool, you know. I totally forgot they had won. I was like, they won? I was like, oh yeah, they beat oh my God, who did they beat? Was it the Lakers? I forget. It might have been the Lakers, but they got their first ring in forever, or just their first ring, their first championship. And so I was going between so right now it's like, if you don't know, right now, if you're a sports fanatic, you have a choice of hockey, which just started. You have a choice of the NFL. You have a choice of baseball for a few more weeks, maybe a week or 2. And then of course basketball. So you have a few choices of sports options. You know, if that's so fancy, that's something that you're interested in doing. I'm not a Laker fan, I'm a Clippers fan. I think I want to go to a Clippers game this year. I'm trying to wait until they get their new stadium built, but that's not till next year. So I gotta go to the crypto arena. That's fine. Oh, what else is going on today? I'm tired. So I was up. Well, yesterday I filmed in the car yesterday, but I was gonna go back out. I was like, I'm not gonna go back out. So around 6-ish, I was getting sleepy. My intention was to take a nap. Even though I had that Celsius, I was still sleepy. I was like, So I did not take a nap. So I just came to the conclusion that I was just gonna go to bed early because why am I staying up? So I was in bed like around I'm gonna say 7:30, I was in the bed. Then I filmed a short, and I did something else, and I was in the bed, like, you know, sleep around 8. And then for some reason, I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to Dunkin' Donuts in the morning, because they open at 5. But then after my alarm went off, and I hit snooze about 4 times, I came to the conclusion that that wasn't gonna happen. So I just made sure I made some coffee before I left home, and I was thinking about going after work, but the only thing I was going to get was just some footage or whatever, but it's not even that serious actually. It's not. So what else is going on in the world? Oh, they elected a new House Speaker. So apparently the guy they just elected, I forget his name, I'll insert it here if I remember. I know he's from Louisiana. He looks kind of young. When I say young, he looks like he's in his late 30s, early 40s. But so he got elected to the House Speaker position. I feel like the whole thing with McCarthy and what they were doing the last few weeks, because this guy yesterday, he was like, oh, I'll run, right? And so literally 4 hours into the day, you know, Donald Trump posts something on his Truth Social network, and he says that this guy, you know, he said something about this guy, this person that's running, right? And so this person, now these are all Republicans, right? Now, if they're super MAGAs, if you want to use that term, or extremely conservative, or, you know, the election deniers, take your pick. You know, at this point, they're all considered bad because of what happened on January. But apparently, this particular guy that just got elected to the House position, he voted to not certify the electoral votes on January 6th. And, you know, I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. So I think, honestly, the whole thing with that situation is that, for whatever reason, okay, so the election is a year out, a year and some weeks, right? So they're getting their things in place to do whatever they plan on doing come 2024. McCarthy, you know, I think, was it 4 rounds of voting he finally got in after some concessions. So he wasn't the guy that they really wanted to be the House Speaker, right? They were like, we just need somebody, we'll choose this guy. Because it was a moment when, you know, they were voting, and he had that tiff with Matt Gaetz, and it was like, what the fuck happened over there? So he had a hard on for him ever since then, right? And so Kevin McCarthy is trying to be like, I'm the good guy that's trying to, you know, do everything that needs to be done. So when he, you know, voted to fund the country as far as raise the debt limit so people get their checks and stuff, his party was like, nah, you got to go. Because ultimately, Republicans, I don't know if it's a self-fulfilling prophecy or they just want the country to burn in the worst way. It's like they want everything to be demolished and start from scratch, or they have some vision that only they can see and they want this to take place. But I mean, the country has shut down before. It's not like it's never happened. But when you look at the totality of the situation as far as the economy in itself, inflation, people living check to check, and, you know, rents at an all-time high, the interest rates on mortgages at an all-time high, average car notes $1,000 on a new car, you know, stuff like that. You can't be shut down because people need to get paid, you know. So Kevin McCarthy was like, you know, I'm doing this for the American people. And his party, or those particular people in his party, was like, no, you went against what we're trying to do. So that's why they got rid of him. And he's the first U.S. House Speaker to ever get ousted from that position in U.S. history. And I'm just like, there's all these firsts, and I'm just like, somebody was like on Twitter or X, they were like, I'm tired of living through all of these, you know, the first time ever So that happened, and so now you got this guy in there who is second in line for president, right? And he's on January 6th election. You know, he refused to certify the votes on January 6th. But the only good thing, I won't say only, the good thing about them actually selecting a speaker 3 weeks after they got rid of McCarthy is that now the business of the country can be done, right? So now if they get you funding for, you know, what they need all over the place, you know, they can get some stuff done. Because right before that, it was like, okay, we can't get anything done because of the speaker, blah, blah. But it's going to be interesting come this election cycle, because if the former president is not under a jail, can you imagine, like, just imagine for a second, like, the former president of the United States is accused or, I mean, I don't know. First of all, it's not a good look, everything that's happening right now anyway. It just looks bad, you know. But the people in the country electing him, and stuff that happened in 2020 can't be undone. It happened. As a country, we have to live with that. You know, whether people, you know, because people, you know, the pundits will say, well, we have 8 years of Obama, and then they turn around and elect him, you know, President Trump. And, you know, I remember when Obama was elected, they were like, oh, it's a post-racial. What the hell is post-racial? What are you talking about? Racism is gone. Where's our Cuba? I said, because we got a black president? I was like, what kind of shit? But, you know. So, I mean, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how everything plays out. I'm not looking forward to it, because if it's anything like 2020, it's going to be a shit show. But I feel like, you know, because Jack Smith, his trial for Trump doesn't start until, like, I want to say March. And that one carries almost as much weight as the Georgia one, I feel like, only because it's dealing with classified documents and stuff. So I think the plan, not even a plan, because like I said, if I say the plan, then that would sound like some conspiracy theory shit, right? So, I don't know what's going to happen in the future. All I know is I need to lose some weight, and there's a resort in Puerto Vallarta that I want to go to. It's a W resort. I don't want to search pictures and names, but the place looks so gorgeous. Now, mind you, when I was looking at it, I was like, oh, this is hot. Like, this is a good spot. Puerto Vallarta is only like, what, 2-hour flight from LA. So I'm not, you're not talking about you're on a plane, you know, you gotta catch 2 flights, and it's like, no, you in and out. No. But it's such a gorgeous resort, and my whole thing about, you know, traveling to island, beach destinations is whatever. Like, majority of my time is going to be spent on the beach, so it doesn't matter if my room is somewhat, I wouldn't even say substandard. I would say it doesn't have to be like the best of it. It's all gonna be 5 stars, 3 1/4, 4, some change, you know. I don't do no 2-star shit, you know. But it don't have to be like top notch. The W brand is top notch. Now, I've stayed at the W hotels before in different places like cities and stuff. But like I've noticed, like, because there was one in New Orleans that was like, mwah, that was not there anymore. I think they changed it over to whatever brand that's under that umbrella of hotels. The one in San Francisco at the time, you know. It's just that experience of like whenever, whatever. I think it's number W, right, where. I don't know, but it's like, you know, it's a vibe. The W hotel is a vibe. And you pay for the vibe. That's what you're paying for. You ain't paying for nothing else, you're paying for the vibe. Like the W Hotel in Barcelona, I wanted to stay there when I went, but the prices, I was like, I took a picture while I was on the beach. I'll take a picture here. But I was like, ooh, I can't. And one of my coworkers, like, she stayed there when she went. I was like, oh, good for you. But she was with somebody. So I was like, I'll have myself. Like, okay, Mr. fucking speed racer. You know what? I'm gonna get over, because obviously you're an asshole. Fucking bitch. I'll cut that out. Anyway, I am going to go home. I should go walking to, no, I'm not going walking. It's like overcast and starting to drizzle. I'm not going to walk. I have some chicken I need to cook, so I'll probably cook the chicken. I had a protein bar before I left work. That was great. That was a little bit over. But yeah, I mean, the world right now, for me, as someone who dabbles in the news, and when I say dabble, I mean like, you know, I channel surf, I look at articles, I, you know, peruse stuff that's happening around the world. It's very unsettling right now. But ultimately, like I said, I have no control over any of this stuff. We have no control over what our world leaders decide to do with their policies, their weaponry, their whatever. We have no control. And I get it. You know, people be in the streets, they're protesting, they're upset. That's the way for them to say, hey, I don't like what's going on. But ultimately, you know, the people that are in power that we voted for, or if we live somewhere where they don't vote for people in power, you know, those people, they do whatever the hell they want to do. So people are at the mercy of these men with small phallic features. So yeah, I don't know. I try not to think about it, but at the same time, it's like, I want to go to Zanzibar next year. And if I'm not able to go to Zanzibar, I mean, I'll go to Vegas, but I'll go somewhere, but I'm just saying, like, you know, I have no control over what happens outside of what I have control over. Which brings me to, I need to start leaving for work early, because when I tell you I'll be running late, now I'll get there on time. I ain't late, but you know, I'm pulling in the parking lot and I got like 10 minutes to get to where I need to be, which isn't far, but still, it's like, you know, 10 minutes versus 15, 20, you know, that's a difference. I don't know. I hope you guys are having a great Wednesday. Like I said, today is Wednesday, October 25th, 2023. And go out and do something fun. I mean, I'm probably like I need to take a nap. Oh, and it's National Greasy Food Day here. Anyway, that's what it is. Why do I know that? Because I was watching